Breakfast with KXVU.
Trickstar Radio.
Just gone 25 minutes past 9 here, Trickstar Radio. We're live inside the building. Man like joins us. How are you doing, sir? You all good?
Yeah, the way you keep saying it is like my actual name is Man Like.
Man Like.
Do you remember Man Like Me? Do you remember
very vaguely.
Very vaguely from MySpace. Man Like Me. Whatever happened to him?
I don't know. What happened to Tom? That's what I want to know. I don't know where Tom is.
I'll tell you what happened to Tom. He sold it for 600 mil. That's what happened.
Who took it over? Because whatever.
Someone took it over. He is living his best. Look up Tom from MySpace on Instagram. He is the definition of living your best life. He sold it for 600 mil, and all he does is travel the world and just take amazing pictures in amazing resorts.
I feel the person who spent the 600 mil isn't living their best life because I don't, I don't really know. Because all I've seen in MySpace.
Maybe they were in a really dark place, and Tom took advantage of them, man.
Because I saw a thing a couple of months ago actually that MySpace lost on a server migration. They lost half the music that was stored on only MySpace.
A lot of my stuff is not on there anymore.
Yeah.
I check it now and again.
But
most of my did you ever have an account?
I did, yeah. When I was rapping, when I was like 12,
I was gonna say, you must have been young because I was like 16.
Yeah, I had a very high pitched version of young Sleepy.
Were you called Sleepy G back then?
No, I was called Creeps Kid at first.
Creeps Kid, yeah. Creeps Kid.
And then it changed to Sleeps, and then it came Mr. Sleeps, and then it became Sleepy G.
And now, why is the G dropped now?
Because I'm not 16 anymore, should we say? So yeah, I mean, speaking about this, this is kind of like a bit of conversation I've wanted to have for a while. Obviously, there's an event coming up in Brighton this weekend. We're going to run through the card in just a second. But yes, it's actually the first time I'm going to be clashing in sort of. I think it's 4 years.
What was your last one?
Press and
Lens.
Lens.
That's 5 years then.
Yeah,
because that was 2015.
Yeah,
in the pub in London.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that was a 2-on-2 as well.
2-on-2. So that was your last. So okay, so was that? Did you have that one in your head as this will probably be my last one for a minute?
No, but I knew the second after I got the call to do the because I DJ'd the next day, and the second I got that call, I was like, this is what I'm pushing for.
Yeah, because it was 2015 was when you really started doing it.
Yeah, and obviously that was the year that South Point started as well. So that's a period of time where I was really pushing the sort of DJ angle as well.
Yeah, right.
And that's when I was playing a lot of shows, like doing a lot of bits. And obviously invited Danny down to a few shows as well. So at that point I was kind of along the lines of thinking of like, I mean, what I want to do is kind of DJing. That's like the kind of thing I want to be pushing towards. And obviously it's what I did beforehand as well. So it was like almost like, I remember I enjoyed this. I enjoyed doing this. And it was quite fun to do something a little bit different. But be involved in that world still, you know what I mean? Obviously we ended up doing the Sound Clash as well, which was very unusual. But overall, I didn't necessarily think it'd be my last one, but I never had it that I'm looking forward to my next one after I'd finished one. You know. Well,
what I mean? you were never trying to be the best battler in the world. You were just doing it because you have a passion for battle rap, and you speak about battle rap a lot. You tweet about it a lot, so I feel like it was natural for you to try it.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people follow that path that you have to do it for a bit, but you were never. I wasn't like some people when they quit. I'm like, wow, you're quitting, but I wasn't like with everything going on with you and the fact you had full-time work. And you were DJing, and you clearly had such a passion for DJing. I wasn't like massively surprised you stopped, to be honest. You know what I mean?
I think the thing of it as well is it's like anything now. I don't think it's anything you really retire from. I hate the word retire from battle rap.
Bro, no one the only people that can retire from battle rap are people who are Loaded Lux and Murder Mook and people who make approximately some people's yearly salaries off one battle.
Yeah.
Then I guess in theory you can say you're retiring because it is a job. Anyone who's making £100 every 4 months, I'm sorry, that's not a job. I don't mean that no disrespect, but that you're not retiring, you're stopping a hobby.
Yeah.
Do you know? And also, you should, to be fair, you should probably carry it on because a lot of people, it's the most fun external extracurricular activity they have in their life.
Yeah, definitely.
And they choose to stop because it hasn't made them a millionaire. And it's like, well, bro, it hasn't made anybody a millionaire.
Yeah.
So
I see. Again, on a personal one for me is it's sort of like that performance kind of thing. It's something I've been doing since I was like 12, 13. So it's something that I've always been involved with. Yeah. So it was obviously different. I've got to say as well, it was the first time I'd ever been nervous to perform.
When you first battled?
The first time I battled.
Really?
And still to this day, it's probably leading up to a clash, that sort of like minute or so when you're waiting for the cameras to turn on. It's a horrible
What do you think you'll feel like on Saturday?
A lot more confident than I used to. I'll safely say that because realistically when I was clashing back then, I wasn't the same person I am now. I've obviously grown a lot as a person. I'm 5 years older. I speak for a day job now. essentially, if you know what I mean. So
it's not as nerve-wracking.
It's not as nerve-wracking because I host a lot of kind of live events now as well, where I'll be like the MC for the evening. So that sort of performing in front of a crowd kind of element it was never something I really had that much issue with, but it was something I was a little bit worried about connecting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now I feel like
now you're just confident in yourself that you know you're going to connect.
Yeah, pretty much so. And also having not studied it, but like watched what's happened over the course of 5 years, I feel I've got quite a good gauge on what is like the best thing way to approach
so what
it.
do you think has happened over the last 5 years?
Over the last 5 years, I think it has definitely. That I feel there's been a bit of a split. I feel obviously the big thing that always goes on is bars versus jokes or whatever, and I feel people have suddenly become a lot more appreciative of jokes again because the people that are doing bars, I'll be honest, most of them are terrible at it.
Yeah. Most of them are doing word plays that don't make sense. Like, I grew up in a house made of Australian beer that's a foster home. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most people are spitting bars that are like that are wordplay in the definition of what wordplay is, but they actually make zero sense.
Like no double meaning whatsoever.
No double meaning, just literally saying something that is a play on words but doesn't make sense both ways round. You're right, completely. There is a resurgence of jokes now because fans, again, I guess Bristol is a great example. Bristol came out for Unanimous vs Craft D, which was a title match of two veterans. So there was definitely people in the building that were like, wow, I've followed these two for 5 to 10 years. But also there was a lot of people in the building that were just there to have a laugh. Yeah. There was a lot. I put my hand up, I think at the start, and said, who's a newcomer today, and it was probably about 60-70% of the room, and I'm telling you right now, do not want to hear double entendres, triple entendres. They just want to hear funny bars and have a good Saturday afternoon. So I think that's a great thing that's changed. Is it coming back to that?
Definitely, man. I think as well, I think obviously on an international level, something that's quite interesting to look at this is someone like Pat Stay, for instance, who has become this kind of global figure and will go and do.
Well, he's become the quintessential battle rapper now.
Yeah, there's that sort of thing, like there's nothing he can't really do, and he'll make you laugh and then make you do the screw face or whatever, like straight afterwards.
I'll be honest, I was late onto him. Not as because I knew him. Obviously, I judged it 2010. I judged Pat Stay vs Holohan. That's an incredible battle for anyone who hasn't seen it. Two best friends battling. It's amazing. I judged Pat Stay vs Holohan in 2010, and I liked him, but I definitely didn't see the gas that everybody else saw. But last couple years, now I've become a fully fledged fan.
You're just kind of like, I'm expecting you to be very, very good at this point.
It's at the point now where if you're not a fan of him, you're a hater. Because you cannot fault what he's doing. He's going to every league that he wants to go to, and he's performing. If it's a bars crowd, he's doing bars. If it's jokes, he's doing jokes, and people will just love him.
And people lap it up every single time.
He might be the top. He's definitely in the top 4 right now. The Mount Rushmore right now, active battlers. He's
for everything as well. Like there isn't anything he isn't good at. You know. What I mean?
What the stuff you've written for Saturday? What is it leaning more?
Are you trying to get me to leak my stuff?
No, I don't want to leak it. Because Henry will be listening. Because Henry's probably listening right now because he sent me the eyes emoji on IG, which means he's listening. So don't leak anything.
Hello, Henry. Hello.
But he's super polite as well. If he was here, he'd have no ag. He'd be very smiley.
So I mean, the kind of approach I've kind of got for it, realistically, it's a bit different to the normal sort of stuff. I'd say it's a more refined version of an older, more refined version of the sort of stuff I used to do, but with trying to think of the best way to put it, a little bit more self-awareness. I'd say is a good way of putting it. And obviously it's in my town, you know what I mean? Like I know I'm here all the time. Like I'm at a lot of the live events. I'm at a lot of the kind of things that happen here, like the kind of main things. I'm a part of a fair few of them. So I am approaching it with that kind of thing of, look, you're coming to my place, I'm sort of the man here. So there's your
that's a good approach, and you should use that approach, man, whenever you get the rare opportunity to use it. Definitely, man.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I tell you what I don't enjoy though. For anyone who kind of watches battles as a fan, the rehearsals, I swear honestly, like if I'm in the shower, if I'm walking to the shop, if I've got like a 3-4 minute kind of window where I'm waiting for a video to render, if I've got a 3-4 minute window, I'm running around there and then. But it's not even that I choose to do it, my brain will automatically tell me to do it. And we were talking a little bit off air about this as well, about how important that is.
Yeah, because you haven't ever forgot your bars. Yeah. But people really underestimate what it takes to not forget your bars. I mean, I know there's some battlers go completely extreme and have rules where they won't battle until they can go over it 250 times. Now, not everybody who has busy lives has the time to rehearse 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 250 times. However, on the other side of the scale, some people are quite literally writing the verses and rehearsing them maximum 10 times. Now, I'm sorry, if you're writing 3 fresh pieces of material and your battle is in 1 week and you're only rehearsing 10 times, that stuff is not staying in your head. I'm sorry, it's not.
It's just not.
It's not. No way. And people underestimate it and they come and they choke because and they're always. I tell you what. After the battles, they are always so shocked. They're like, "Oh my god, like, bro, I had it so locked in my head." And it's like, "Well, no, you didn't.
You didn't. Otherwise,
you had it locked when you were private."
Occasionally, there's external factors. I'll give you. Occasionally, there's things that can throw you. But if you know your material inside out, you should be able to get back to it.
What people also underestimate, though, is that it's very different spitting in the shower to spitting in a room of strangers.
Yeah.
So yeah,
the temperature's different. You're wearing different clothes.
You're not. Yeah, you haven't got a stream of water running in your face. But you know what I'm saying. When you're in the shower, you're not nervous. Of course you're not, because nobody is there when you're walking to the shops. If you're on the treadmill, that's another classic. Going on the treadmill and rehearsing
out of breath
is amazing. But I mean, mentally rehearsing, yeah. But again, because it's just you, that's all you have to focus on. But man, some of these people, they don't mentally prepare themselves. So I've actually started telling newcomers now, like, I try and say, look, I'm not trying to be patronizing to you, but please take this into account, that when you step in the middle of the ring and we have 5 cameras, bright spotlights,
the spotlights are hot as well.
They're
spotlights
very
are
hot.
That's
and
something that goes
most
never
likely
mentioned.
Forget your bars, even if you've locked them in completely. Probably for a split second you'll forget them. So please prepare yourself for it. And after telling people that, they still sometimes choke.
Yeah, it's
bizarre. Horrible.
It's a horrible thing to witness and to. I don't know. It's never happened to me, so I don't know. But that's purely through fear of not wanting to do it.
You can't have it. You can't have it happen to you. You can't. No battler wants to be known as a choke artist.
No.
And there's a few that they relentlessly come back and they choke over and over again, and they just dig the hole deeper.
Definitely. I mean, it's a funny one. Like, it's not the first time I've done short notice. I did the Raptor one on 3 days.
3 days was because someone cancelled, right?
Yeah. Prospects cancelled. Who was also from Brighton, yeah. So that was an interesting one. And again, it was that thing of, because almost it's short notice, you kind of have to go, right, every single waking second I have free is going on rehearsing this. You write moderately quickly, and I find as well during the writing process, when I'm writing, a lot of the time it will be I'll change my what I'm saying as I'm rehearsing. So actually what I end up writing is completely different to what I've rehearsed, because a lot of the time I find that there's little little intricacies and stuff like that, like little internal like rhymes and stuff like that appear, and I'm like, that makes a lot more sense to say it like that. And then I'll look at like the original version of what I've written down, and it will be nothing like what the actual final version is.
Really? That's so interesting.
But I wouldn't say it's a case of like thinking stuff up and never. As soon as I think of something, it's written down there, and then so I can go back to look at it. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of crunch time now for the kind of like the kind of
2 days. You got 2 days.
Yeah, that's crunch time for me, man.
But you don't seem nervous at all.
That's because I'm at work more than anything else. If I came in here and I was just going, it wouldn't be very.
So are you? Obviously, you've had nerves before every battle, because everyone has nerves.
Yeah.
Where are you at now compared to where you were before?
I'm a lot more comfortable. I'd say more than anything else, it's actually it's almost refreshing to kind of have this thing of, I've got something I need to be worried about and kind of do, because I'm someone who works so advanced in everything I do, kind of like I'm 3 weeks ahead with everything, like this show's planned like 2 months in advance, like guests and stuff like that.
So what do you think of Henry then, the guy you're battling?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't like doing the war talk sort of thing, but he's not the sort of person I would ever watch on a regular basis. Right. Realistically,
because what? Because he dresses a bit funny.
No, I've never mocked someone's dress sense. I mean, I might, who knows? But I don't know, the very kind of I'm trying to tame.
Right. Okay.
For me, I think just kind of tame a little. And now he's going to come out and be really, really loud. So whatever. But I think that I don't know. For me, he's very newcomery. You know what I mean?
Oh, he is.
He feels very kind of like this is still a very new thing for him. Which obviously,
so you're about to come and kind of sun him.
Hopefully. I tried that with Juan, it didn't work at all. So back in the day, there we go. But yeah, I mean, we're going to jump into another tune next. This one is Verb T and Pitch 92. This is one of their most recent singles. And then we're going to get into kind of like the future, what's on the way, kind of like future plans and stuff like that. Again, one more time, social media tags for yourself so people know.
Don't Flop, @ on Instagram, Don't Flop, @Twitter on Twitter.
Good stuff. Trickstar BTN, @Cub KXVU as well. Remember, you can grab the Trickstar Radio app via the App Store and via Google Play. Also available via via DAB, via Radio Cult, and via the TuneIn app, as well as the Trickstar Radio website. This one, Verb T and Pitch 92 with Frostbitten, just coming up to 20 to 10 here on Breakfast with Kovu. We're in the building till 10. Oh, yes.
Waking up Brighton.
Breakfast with Cobb Kovu.